This video ends when Roman Reigns loses the Undisputed title. I have 10 opponents lined up for Roman, and if he gets past 3 of them, there's a twist. His first test is current rival, Cody Rhodes. Cody would start out hot, giving a pounding of shots to Roman Reigns on the mat, but it wouldn't last long as a guillotine choke would be locked in by the Tribal Chief. It was early on in the match, but the American Nightmare had nowhere to go, and he was able to break free of it. Roman Reigns in a bad position, but it wouldn't take long again for him to call him up in the corner for a spear, and Roman would cover the American Nightmare. And a kick out. Cody able to kick out. Roman Reigns couldn't believe what he was seeing, but he had to go back on the offense. He tried it, but Cody Rhodes would hit a disaster kick, and he'd have him locked in for a crossroads. Roman would do a little flip, and Cody would cover the Chief to end the reign, but no. Roman was able to kick out, but Cody would fire back with a vertebreaker. Hasn't done it in a long time, and now would roll through again for a crossroads. A second crossroads. Nowhere for Roman to crawl. He was out of it. He was fully out. But no, Cody couldn't get it done. The story couldn't be finished quite yet. A Superman punch in the corner would lead for Cody to get caught with a spear, and Roman would step into the cover. But Cody would still get out of it. Cody would still be able to stay in this, but an elbow drop from the top as Roman Reigns would go for another cover. Could he get out again? And he couldn't. Roman Reigns gets past his first opponent in the American Nightmare, but it wouldn't be long before his next, as the following night on Raw, the former honorary Uso Sami Zayn gets his rematch against the Tribal Chief. Sami has a slight advantage as he's faced Roman in the past, but Roman would take him out to the apron, standing on top of it, and drop him with a back suplex. Sami playing a little bit of possum as they got back into the ring, was able to roll him up, but Roman only kicks out at 1. He would spring back up, but a springboard from Sami would take Roman straight back down. But later on, he would call him up for that Superman punch. But Sami, he's seen it before. He's seen it firsthand. He's taken it multiple times. But Roman just able to get Sami at every single place he could. And Madcap Moss of all people, it was able to show up, but it was only his music. Sami Zayn took advantage of the miscue possibly from the production truck, or just Madcap Moss playing a little bit of mind games. I don't know what he's got to do with it, but Sami would roll to the outside, spring right back up, Roman looking to follow him, but Sami playing a little bit of cat and mouse, now able to Irish whip him for a haluva kick. He hit the haluva kick, but Roman's hand was right underneath the ropes, but he would send him into the corner for the proper haluva kick into the cover on Roman. And he couldn't get it done. Roman would get right back up to his feet with a spear and another cover. And Sami was able to get his hand on the rope, able to grab the ropes. Roman couldn't believe a single second of what was happening, but a tope suicida would set up Sami Zayn right where he didn't want to be. Roman would call him up, and another spear to Sami would put him away. Roman puts Sami away a second time. But returning from injury, the Viper Randy Orton looks to have that match that was supposed to happen at SummerSlam. These two did not waste any time. A big boot from Roman would take down Randy, but he gets right up to his feet. And a Luthez press would take down the head of the table. The punches and bunches on the floor there. Randy would roll out to the ring. A suicide dive was attempted, but Randy Orton was able to move out of the way in the ring, but hit him with that signature power slam. And he'd roll him out to the outside, going for vintage Orton with that DDT. Randy Orton was feeling himself at this moment in time, and he was getting ballsy. He decided to go for the punt kick. The cover off the punt. Nobody would kick out of that, but except the Tribal Chief. Randy couldn't believe anything he was seeing. Randy would get hit with a spear, but he wouldn't. An RKO would take down Roman Reigns. Cover. And the Chief was still in it. Randy would go up to the top rope and hit it on the outside. An elbow drop would take him down. But as soon as he get back in the ring, Roman Reigns would take full advantage. A spear would take down Orton and put him down for good. Roman finishes off a WWE legend, but then he would face someone he hasn't in a long time. AJ Styles steps up to Roman Reigns next, but this time in an Extreme Rules match. A change of match type would not slow the Tribal Chief down. Uranagi would get hit on AJ Styles and he'd go for the first weapon of the match. Being chosen would be a ladder. AJ was seated in the corner, but as soon as they got back in the ring, would go for a springboard, wouldn't land, but able to send him out to the outside despite missing. Would go for another weapon, this time a table. We're grabbing tables and would immediately hit him in the face with it. Back in the ring they'd go, he'd hit the springboard this time. But we weren't done with weapons, as Roman Reigns would grab a sledgehammer, but AJ would immediately take it from him and hit him with it instead. He would taunt with the sledgehammer, but get sent back into the ring and send Roman right back out. But Roman, taking advantage of this time on the outside, would grab another ladder, and this time he'd bridge it in between the announce table and the apron, and now AJ would take advantage of it and send him right through it with a senton, breaking that ladder, but gets sent into the ring post. But AJ, right back in the ring, would connect with a phenomenal forearm, cover on the Chief. No. Roman Reigns able to kick out. The reign is not over. The video is not over. And Roman Reigns, after that Superman punch, another spear. That's how the combination goes. And AJ Styles able to kick out. Roman couldn't believe it. And as the swan song goes, how this always seems to end up, an Uso would arrive, and it would end up being Jey Uso, cracking him over the head with a chair. Roman would crawl into the cover. And once again, AJ is able to get his shoulder up, and Roman Reigns would have one last thing in his locker for that spear out of the Superman punch again. And Roman would put AJ down. Despite the change in match type, Roman Reigns is still able to put AJ away, and it's fitting that we saw him because next, Jey Uso will try to get revenge for all the pain he's put him through in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Only helping him for his own benefit, Jey Uso would hit a Samoan drop on the outside, take him back inside. He can pin him anywhere in the SummerSlam arena. Sami Zayn's music would hit, and it seemed as though he was going to help Jey Uso in this match, but he was never actually there, and Jey Uso was able to take advantage, grabbing a kendo stick and hit him with it as soon as he met him out there. Would go for another weapon, this time a chair. A chair always seems to be involved in the bloodline business, and Jey Uso would just hammer these shots away on the Chief, pin on the outside of the ring, and Roman was able to kick out. And now back in the ring they went for a super kick, was caught. Now Roman would lock in the guillotine choke near the ropes, but it doesn't matter because it's Falls Count Anywhere. We're halfway through as Roman puts down Jey Uso once again, but next it's not your typical superstar. From Puerto Rico, celebrity Bad Bunny will step up to Roman Reigns. Roman might be having Logan flashbacks. This time, it was a tables match. Bad Bunny would show that he's actually one of the better celebrity wrestlers to ever exist. But would get hit with that table, he would run into it. But Bad Bunny was still able to fight off the Chief in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. How fitting, Bad Bunny would fly through the ropes, but no, Roman would catch him for a power bomb on the outside. And Bad Bunny would put him through the table, and Bad Bunny became the new Undisputed Universal Champion.